You're listening to How I See It, hosted by Han. You guessed it, that's me. I am here to motivate and inspire you with guests from all different industries and backgrounds. So get ready for personal stories of success, of growth, full of highs and lows, and of course, unapologetic realness. This is How I See It. Okay, you guys, I am so excited to welcome Kristina Velkova today to the podcast. She is the founder of VitaClean, the brand revolutionizing skin, scalp, and hair protection through their shower head products. They're redefining what it means to have clean water with their chlorine, bacteria, dirt, and impurity-proof product. Kristina and I have a very serendipitous story to share how we met, but I can't wait for you guys to hear more about her. Kristina, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I know I just said it off air, but I really want to say this to the audience. I'm so proud of you. This is so awesome.
So nice.
And I'm really excited that we're finally sitting down and having a conversation.
I know. It's been a long time coming, but perfect timing, right?
We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about it because I feel like the way we met was so serendipitous, and it's a perfect reminder of perfect timing and why it's so important, because we met at the mod event, right? When was that? May this year. Yeah. And we met in passing through some other random person that I didn't know. We were both attending the event. And all I remember from the conversation is you talking about Smile House Tribeca.
Yeah.
And that your husband's dad owned the company, and that it was this cool dentistry. And I was just listening kind of. I don't even think we even got to chat.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going into my email and writing it in my drafts as someone to pitch for the next pod tour.
I just got goosebumps.
I know, it was so crazy. I heard it and I was like, that's so cool. Flash forward, we go to the Hamptons at a founder retreat, and we're randomly sat together at a table
across from each other,
which was insane.
And then we couldn't put it together.
We couldn't put it together. I didn't recognize you. You didn't recognize me, because it was such a quick interaction too. And we immediately connected and started sharing our stories. And then halfway through, you looked at me and you're like, wait, I think we've met.
Yeah. Really funny story. The mod event, I went by myself and I was getting a drink. I met Dan at the bar. He was telling me about his partner and how he snores and how he has sleep apnea, and they literally have to sleep in separate bedrooms because it's so difficult for him to sleep because of all of the restlessness and noise. And that's how the conversation of Smile House came up. And when we walked over, you guys were all sitting together, and I didn't even sit. It was kind of standing over.
Yeah.
It was really quick. But then I remember you were like, this is really cool. Next time I'm in New York, I'm going to reach out. I don't know. I just remember that later when we made the connection.
It ended up being perfect timing, because at that point I was trying to start planning for Fashion Week coming up and coming to New York and doing a happy hour for the podcast. Mm-hmm. And it was just perfect timing. And it was one of those reminders of if you surrender, if you actually give it up and let things fall into place, everything does. And that's something I know that you're very passionate about talking about too.
Totally. And I think timing is an important one as well. Sometimes we're so eager to get everything the minute we want it. We live in a instant gratification world where things are just coming at us immediately. We can Amazon Prime anything we want. We can Instacart anything we want. And then when it comes to building, whether it's a podcast or a business or a relationship or anything, time is really important, and you don't want to rush things.
Well, I think sometimes our rushing is a way we can cope with the anxiety of sitting with the unknown. And so when you don't have control, you're come on, and you're trying to force puzzle pieces into places that don't fit, and it becomes frustrating or not actually perfectly timed. And if I would have rushed into a happy hour, let's say in May, maybe it wouldn't have been as beautiful and amazing as it's going to be tonight with you, and I wouldn't have had this relationship, and we wouldn't have been here. So I just wanted to share that with the pod audience, because I feel it's a great reminder of divine timing.
Totally. And in the last 2 years, we've been doing podcasts, my co-founder and I. Usually we're together, so there's almost a crutch when we're together, because we got each other and we know how to share. So if anybody feels anxiety or nervousness, someone takes over. And I've really been wanting to improve how I publicly speak and how I talk, and just my confidence level on air.
Yeah.
I kind of manifested you as well in that way.
I love it. I know it wouldn't have been good timing back then too. So I'm just so happy that you're here today to share your story, because I think you have a lot to offer, more than just the VitaClean story. So we're going to get into all aspects, but I want you to take me back. How did you get here? Where did you grow up? How did you end up as an entrepreneur?
Thank you. I actually love sharing my story, because people just are so people don't expect it.
Yeah.
So I was born in Bulgaria, which is in
Insane.
Eastern Europe. If people don't know, it's like right above Greece, sandwiched between Romania, Black Sea border.
Yeah, give us the geography for sure.
Many people don't know, and it's
No, they
okay.
don't.
They really don't, because it's not a country that is mostly talked about. I always say our marketing is really bad because I was like, one day I have a dream that I'll improve the marketing in Bulgaria. But
Can you imagine?
yeah, so Bulgaria was under the communist rule, and 89 is when it fell apart. So that means you can have private business, you can travel, you can get out of the country. Until then, you were kind of told like everyone is equal and the same, and people get the same job at like the same places and make the same income, like that kind of idea.
Which is like very anti-entrepreneur.
Exactly. So in 1997, my dad applied to the green card lottery. So what that is, for some people that don't know, if you don't live in America or if you're not American, you can apply for the green card lottery. It's random. It's literally like the Mega Million. You just apply, and then you get, well, you don't get money, but you get a green card.
Yeah, which very
gives
valuable.
you totally, especially today.
Totally.
So when my dad won the green card, we had 2 years to declare if we're going or not, and it was just completely untraditional for us to leave our family. My dad was like starting a furniture business back home, and he had like the factory, he had all of the equipment. It was like go time, and my parents decided that they're gonna come all the way across the world, where they only knew 2 people in the whole country, had no English, and they obviously wanted, I have a sister, so they wanted a better future for her and I. And in Bulgaria, it's very complicated and layered and complex, but they wanted us to come here, and they wanted us to have that future that, you know, they dreamt of as well.
Yeah.
So we came here in 2000.
Wow. And how old were you at this point?
I was 9, about to be 10.
Oh my gosh. And you didn't speak any English?
No, I was like a person. Sometimes when you come at 2 or 3, you don't really understand what's going on. But
Yeah.
at 10, like, you kind of know what's going on.
Yeah. And so none of your family spoke English?
Nobody. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We went into school, and I literally didn't even know how to say, can I go to the bathroom? Then I would have to like hold it in.
So I was going to ask you, one of my questions today was like, where do you think you got this entrepreneurial gene? And it seems like it was from your parents. Like the audacity they had to like move you guys and like know that they can create a life for themselves and for you guys. And they believed that you guys had it in you to like learn a new language and get thrown into school and do all of these things. Would you say that's true?
Absolutely. My dad and my mom are so courageous, and I'm so proud of them for whatever reason they chose to come here, whether it was to give us a better life or for them to experience a life that they didn't have back home.
Probably both.
I think it's both. I think for sure it's both. I think the immigrant story is always like, we came here for the kids, you know, but I think the parents also have dreams too.
Yeah. Well, and I think like a healthy family dynamic is actually like when the parents make like selfish choices that are going to make them happy so that they can be the best parents and also offer the best life too. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, it's actually beautiful. And I really like look up to my dad in that way and my mom, because they really had like set up a really good situation for them back home, and they had a lot of family, a lot of community, a lot of love, friendship. Like, it was good. And for them to literally get up and leave that to start over again from zero. My dad was 43, so it's not like he was spring chicken.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying 43 years old. I'm just saying in the situation where like you uproot your life and like go and start from zero.
It sometimes can be easier to like make changes when it's very drastic, or like something really intense is happening or something traumatic is happening, like even in a breakup, like if the guy like fucks you over really big time or whatever. But it's really hard to leave when you know you could like pursue more for yourself or do better, whether it's like moving, whether it's leaving a relationship, whether it's leaving a corporate job to start a company. It's really hard to leave when you're comfortable and there's actually like nothing quote unquote wrong. And so I think it takes a lot of bravery and courage to like pursue more even when you are comfortable.
Totally.
You're an entrepreneur now. You have your own company. You've been like grinding for a while. I can imagine that the resilience that you have now has come from like that time in your life, because I can imagine it wasn't easy on your mental health, on anything.
Totally. I mean, going from like everything you know to your own home and your comfort to moving to New York, where like literally you've never seen buildings that tall. It was really shocking at 10 years old, and it made me grow up really fast, for better or worse. I mean, I had a really nice childhood, but then when we got here, it was like go time. And I think for a really long time, I was upset about that. It was like my childhood was taken away. But at the same time, I'm so happy, because it really taught myself and my sister, we talk about it often, how to be strong, how to be resilient. Like, it really also taught me that nobody owns you anything, even your own parents. Like, if you want something, you go and get it. And that's not in a way where like your parents are not supportive or they're not X, Y, or Z. It's just really taught me that when I was at school and I was like, I don't know how to go to the bathroom, like my mom's not going to come and ask for me. I was like, I got to learn. So like my sister and I sat with a dictionary in our kitchen.
You're obviously like a problem solver. You had to problem solve like very quick. And I think what you're speaking to is like agency. Like you figured out that you had to like have agency at a very young age. Like if you want to get something done, if you have to go to the bathroom, if you have to communicate, you have to figure it out yourself. But I could also imagine that's like really mentally hard.
Totally. I mean, like you don't know what's going on. Like the teacher's like so sweet trying to integrate you, but like you don't speak the language and you're 10 years old. You're like, I don't understand what's happening.
Something you said to me in this conversation, because obviously we've talked on the phone, I've asked you about your background before, was that you feel really empowered in business because there's a potential to restart. And like it doesn't scare you, like the idea of that. Can you get into that? Because I think it has to do with like this part of your story too, and like watching your dad, but also you having to start in a place where you're having to like start over.
Totally. I think that my dad, again, his courage of just leaving behind a very good life where, of course, there's challenges with everyone has them in every country, every part of the world. But coming here and starting over, it was just like, it's possible. Yeah. Everything's possible. You know, it's going to be hard. You have to work and like you have to get to where you want to. But that power and knowing that was like always my North Star of doing anything. So I learned that at a young age. And I also learned the, as you said, agency of like, if I need to get something done, I do it myself. Like nobody owes me anything. If I sit and just pout and cry, like sure, I can feel and like express my emotions. But if I want to achieve my goals, like I have to make a plan and I have to set it forward.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people don't start what they want, like the brand. Let's say in our case, like since we're having a conversation around like mental health and entrepreneurship today, a lot of people don't step into entrepreneurship, not because they like don't have something they're passionate about and not because they're not capable, but because they're scared of like failing. If you view like failure as actually just like not starting, there's always a chance to pivot. There's always a chance to restart. I think it removes the charge a bit.
Obviously, there's a lot of fear attached to things, but what is fear? Well, the end of fear is like, I can't handle it. You can do anything, even if you're scared of shit. Yeah. Like I've always told myself that, and that's how I've kind of like pursued things. Like I'm terrified, but I will go and do it.
We've built fear in our head to be something scarier than it is. And I told you on the phone that like I have to view fear as like something that like sits in the back seat of the car, because I think a lot of times people think that, oh, I'm going to start or I'm going to go for it or I'm going to take the risk when fear goes away. And it doesn't. It
never
really
goes
doesn't.
away.
It almost gets worse the longer you wait. I think if you view it as something that's not as intimidating, then you can kind of move past it. And to your point, I think at a very young age, you had to like address fear. So you've gotten more comfortable. People don't view resilience as something with fear. Like you actually have to like prove time and time again that you can get over fear to like be more resilient.
Every time you level up, you will have a new it's like new fear unlocked.
Yeah.
So it's going to be there. And I think fear needs a rebrand, and I think failure needs a rebrand. Like they're both like the efforts.
Yeah.
I think they're healthy. They're healthy as long as they don't completely take over every part of your life. With fear, I think if you look at it as something healthy, like, hey, I have fear, it's actually meaning that you're doing something that you're uncomfortable with, and that's where you see growth.
Yeah, you're human. Congratulations.
Yes, welcome.
Did you immediately want to become an entrepreneur?
I've always had entrepreneurial tendencies, but I started modeling at a young age. So I view that as my first experience in entrepreneurship because it is very entrepreneurial. Usually models get signed to an agency, but that doesn't mean like you're on a payroll. Like that agent then has to get you work, and then you have to go to castings.
You have to hustle.
You have to really hustle. You have to go to castings. You have to run around town. Now it's digital, but you have to apply for the job every time. And then when I got to college, I went to FIT in New York.
Yeah.
That's when I really started to model full time, and I took it seriously. I was able to curate my schedule at school to be able to match the hours that I needed to be available. And that was like the wildest ride of my life. I don't even know. Well, I kind of know how I did it. I'm like not too short of it now. It's just like running a company and just, you know, having all these things.
Funny when you look back what you thought was like the busiest time of your life. And then you are here now and you're like, I'm so much busier now. But you were almost like, again, like building the resilience of like multitasking the entrepreneur life. Because there are times when I look back back in my like early 20s, and I was like working full time, going to school, and then trying to launch my business and blog and stuff. And I was like, I'm doing so many things at one time, and I'm literally doing like 10 more things than I was at that time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did I think I was doing so much?
Well, you're just used to it now. You're like, this is normal. Like, I stopped getting anxiety about scheduling. Like, you get experience, you level up, you grow, you get out of your comfort zone, and you're able to do it.
Did it give you confidence being a model?
Yes and no. It was obviously like every day you're getting rejected multiple times a day. Like when you actually do get a job, like you're treated like a hanger, and they're pointing out 90% of the things on you that you didn't even know were an issue. But it's just the industry. I think things are probably better now.
You seem like you handle no's well though, or at least now.
Now, I think if I, at 10 years old, waddled in, I don't know if that's even the right word, and all of my feelings, like in a way where it decapitated me from moving forward, I think it would have been a lot, because I experienced everything at once as a 10-year-old, getting that wave of a lot at that time of my life, and having to like stand up on my feet. I mean, like, we're charging forward, we're a team with my family, we're gonna do this together, like it's gonna be hard. There's moments where just like it's so challenging and difficult, but we broke through. We learned the language really fast. We were like the only people that graduated ESL like in 6 months with my sister and I, and just learned the language really fast, excelled. We were like top students in class. So it was just how we were like wired, and also how we're raised.
I kind of feel the same way sometimes when I'm in like kind of like a victim state, like I'm having a bad day, or like I'm in a depressive episode, or I feel like anxiety creeping in, or like I like think about some childhood trauma shit. If I catch myself like kind of ruminating in a way that's like poor me, I always remind myself like there's no way you would be able to accomplish what you have now if you didn't go through all that hard stuff. Because again, it's back to like the resilience tolerance thing. If something goes wrong, like it takes a lot for me to like freak out. And I think it's because like someone asked me the other day, like, how do you like go like so like this all the time? And I'm like, I'm like, sometimes it's a toxic trait.
Sometimes it's like months as well, like where you're just like, I'm still in this.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm chaotic as fuck, trust me. No, but I think it's because at a young age I had to like keep going, and I had to like feel feelings and keep going. And like, of course I wasn't as good when I was younger at doing it, but now that I'm an adult, it takes time. So I think there's a correlation between like taking risk and building up that power within yourself.
Absolutely. And the confidence did come as well with modeling. Like, it was really fun. I was never a super model, but I did model for a lot of brands. I made good money, which gave me confidence. I moved into my own apartment in the city at the age of 20, like in a really nice place, like taking care of my whole life.
You were doing it yourself.
Yeah, which was really cool. So that gave me confidence, and it gave me a sense of achievement, empowerment on my own, and it kind of gave me the sense of like, you can do anything.
Yeah, well, that's a perfect segue into like starting VitaClean as well, because it probably set you up to be like, no, like I know how to run shit. I've run my schedule. I know how to like pitch myself. I can like pitch a brand. So like kind of take us into how VitaClean was born. The brand is centered around healing in a different way than mental health, like our body, our skin, our hair, and I think that impacts our confidence if that stuff is like making us feel insecure. So I'm assuming you had your own kind of like healing around that.
Totally. My modeling took me to Europe, and I ended up going to London because my sister was there. I did a lot of work there, but when I arrived in London, the water is notoriously hard. So hard water is full of minerals that dry out your skin and dry out your hair. And I was living there, and I wasn't used to it because I didn't grow up around that water. My body and skin and hair and scalp did not build resilience. So I experienced like severe eczema all over my arms.
Oh my God.
And my hair was just so brittle. It was like a broomstick. And I've never really had that. I've always had really strong hair. So it was the first time that I experienced my physical appearance having those issues, which of course affected my career, because with modeling those things matter.
And confidence, like let's be real, like if I have like a breakout on my face, or I have like a rash on my body, and that's not like normal for me, that's gonna make me feel insecure.
Totally. It's really like no matter what you do, like it will feel terrible. My scalp was so dry that it was like snowing out of my head, and I would go to jobs. I used to do a lot of hair jobs because I have like really long hair, and they literally were just like what is happening with your hair? That was like kind of like chunks falling out, and it wasn't as long as my portfolio, because at that point it started like falling out a lot. So they had to like bring in extensions, and then when they were putting in the extensions, my scalp got even more irritated. So I started like really having a lot of dandruff, and the hairstylist got really frustrated with me and was speaking in like another language to the creative director. I mean, I don't know what she said, but I'm sure it was just like,
You could tell.
you can like, yeah, you could tell. So that obviously like completely killed my confidence, and it was just a tough day on set. The eczema around my arms, I was so embarrassed because I wouldn't wear like t-shirts anymore on castings, because they would say like, what's that, like we have to spend money photoshopping your skin, so like we can't hire you. So I really thought something was internally wrong with me, because I've never experienced that. And I was like, maybe it's the weather, maybe it's the food, maybe it's the stress. I don't know. You think about everything. You don't think about it being the water immediately.
No, definitely. It's not natural to be like, it has to be my shower. I'm sure it's like distressing for a guy, but like for a girl, especially in your career, it'd be devastating. Yeah. It's frustrating not knowing what's wrong with you.
It was. And then I started,
or in this case, it wasn't you.
Well, it was me, but I thought so. So I started doing all these tests. Like I went back to Bulgaria because we have a doctor that I really trust, and we like ran some tests, and she's like, you're literally in perfect health. Like you have nothing wrong with you besides a vitamin D deficiency, which everybody in London has. Like you're good. Funny. Like you're fine. And then at the same time, my co-founder now, we ended up living together for a period of time, and she was experiencing similar issues. So she's really tall, has fair skin and blonde, and she was experiencing like rosacea on her cheeks, especially after a shower, really itchy legs, especially after shaving in the shower. And then she would have to run to the hair salon consistently because her hair was getting very brassy. So we were both kind of bonding over the fact that like these things were happening to us and not really figuring out. So one day where we were living, the shower stopped working. And we called the building plumber. It was a small building, maybe 12 units in Notting Hill area. And he comes over and he's like, turns on the faucet, nothing's coming out. He like puts in all this equipment to the bath main and starts saying, yeah, you have a sludge problem. We're like, a what problem? It was the first time I ever heard the word sludge. And for
You're
those,
like, that can't be good.
No, I was like, I think my head went to like slime and sludge, which same. So essentially what happens, especially in hard water areas, is like all those minerals calcify in the pipes, and the pipes corrode themselves. It's natural. It's like no matter what you do, they do get, that does happen over a period of time. So hard water, corroded pipes, and just like stuff that travels through essentially created the sludge.
Oh my gosh.
And
disturbed.
It was our light bulb moment where we're like, this is probably why we have skin and hair problems.
Yeah. And immediately were you guys like, we need to get a shower head, like a different shower head or something? Or did nothing exist at that time?
Yes. Yeah. So we essentially asked the plumber, like, how do we make sure this never happens? And he's like, well, you have to filter the water, and you can get filter at the base because you're a shared unit. It's about 7,000 pounds, which is like around $10,000. But you have to also maintain it. We're like 25 and we're moving in 3 months. That's not happening.
You're like, I'm not spending $10,000 on my water. That should be a given.
I mean, if you can, God bless, do it. Like, absolutely. It's especially today, I feel like it's becoming more and more
for sure
polluted and across the world.
Yeah, I actually know a couple of people who've done it to their houses, which makes sense because you're living there forever. If you live in an apartment, you're like, I'm not going to spend this $10,000 on something that like, yes, would like keep me healthy, but I don't even own this place. Like I shouldn't have to do that, which is where VitaClean comes in.
Yeah. So we were just like, we can't do that. So we started like looking on Amazon of getting something, and we tried a couple, and we kind of saw a little difference, and we're like, we think there's an opportunity here. And there was at the time no like lifestyle branded filter shower head that was like, hey, if you're experiencing rosacea and dry skin, or your eczema's flared up, or you have dry scalp, or your hair's brittle, or you're feeling itchy, especially after a shower, like you should probably filter your water. Like, so we saw a white space in the market. We didn't invent water filtration. It's been around, but like we basically created the category into a wellness, beauty, lifestyle for better skin, hair, and health.
So cool. Yeah. So cool. And you guys, I'm assuming she's entrepreneurial as well. Were you guys scared at all? Were you like nervous, or were you both just so passionate about it that you were like, we have to do this now?
So that's a great question. We haven't been asked that before. I think I was still scared, but like cautious, scared, but moving forward. And she really was like, we have to do this together. It's going to be great. We both like really love skin and hair and beauty products. And we're always on the pulse on what's the hottest, what's the latest for your skin, like matters. I think at the time it was like the 20-step routine or it was just like, which we were doing. I was not doing anything because at the end of the day, you can apply your serums, your creams that are expensive and nice, but if you're going back and showering in unfiltered water, you're going to have the same
You're undoing
results.
it all.
Exactly.
So how quickly did you guys get this up?
Not too quickly. It took a little bit to kind of find the right partner to help us bring this to market. So I think the first 2 years of us doing it was a lot of like R&D, like figuring out how to put a website, like getting samples, and
you were pioneering
we were like pioneering this, and it wasn't, now it's like so easy. You go on Shopify, there's templates, like you can get AI to do your photos.
Totally.
Like back then you had to pay a developer, coder, you had to pay everyone. It took us 2 years to really get everything up and running and actually get behind it in a way where we saw this being something bigger than just like an idea.
Well, not to mention the testing, because like tell people a little bit about like it's not even just a filter. Like you guys have vitamins in there, you have minerals in there.
What's special about VitaClean is that we do have vitamin C, which is really good. It gets rid of the chlorine in the water, and we also have aromatherapy, so it creates like this spa-like scented, beautiful experience where it's so good for your skin and hair. We have ceramic beads, which are really good at balancing pH and also getting rid of particles. We also have a sediment filter.
Once you guys filtered your water, especially incorporated VitaClean into your routines, did everything clear up?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would almost say like almost immediately. And if you go on our website on vitaclean.co and you read our reviews, like I'm not making that up. People's reviews like make me cry. It's so special. It's like when things are hard or we're having a really hard period or things are difficult where the timing's not working out the way we wanted to, I sometimes just go and read our reviews, and they're just so special because these are real issues of people experiencing things like what I shared with you. So if you're at home and if you're wondering why like your hair is not as shiny even though you're using their latest and greatest products, you probably need to filter your water. Actually, San Diego, California, LA, Venice, Santa Monica, those are our biggest markets. California has a lot of minerals. So if you ever go into your shower, look at your shower head at home, if you see that crusty white buildup, that indicates that you have minerals.
I literally just pictured it in my head right
now.
I
mean, it's very common. And again, like when you're not looking out for it or you're not aware of it, you probably don't notice it.
Well, we normalize these things, right?
Totally. And I think people always notice and say, I have these conversations with people who haven't showered in VitaClean yet. They're like, oh, you're right. You know, when I go here and here in my aunt's house, like my hair is so much softer and it's easier to brush through and it's not so difficult to blow dry. And I say, because the water makes a difference. So what our goal was with VitaClean is just like you have beautiful skin and hair no matter where you go. Like I actually travel with my shower head.
Oh my gosh, that's
I know, it's
so
just a
funny.
little psychotic.
You need to do a video on that for VitaClean.
Right, it was so funny. I have the best story. We were going to Sweden at a conference like a couple of years ago. It was like early days VitaClean. We were just kind of going through all the conferences, networking, trying to really meet as many people as we can to help us accelerate our company. So we're in Sweden and Sarah was late because I don't know what happened. I think she had something at home. She was late and we were like running through the airport and we had our camera and she had the shower head and she's like, I can't fit both in my bag. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. Just give me the shower head. So I like put in my luggage and it went through the scanner and they pulled me aside and they're like asking me why I have a shower head in my bag. And I was like, I really have to go. Like, this is my product. Like, I don't have issues with the liquid. There was no reason why you should stop me. And they were just not giving in and they were questioning it, like touching it, opening it, and I missed my flight.
No.
I got to the gate like sweating.
Oh my god.
With the bag half open.
You should have filmed it as like they're breaking down the product. You're like, this is the inside of the shower.
I don't know if we could do that at the airport security line.
I know, right? Like, you're like, I'm going to use this as a marketing thing.
Forever burned in my brain.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
so
I cried because I never miss a flight. I'm really type A and I'm very organized. I'm a Virgo. So like for me, these things are...
Okay, well, that's a good segue because I was just going to ask you, we're very similar in this way. I feel like when people say type A, that like they think type A people are organized. I'm not like super organized per se in a traditional way.
Chaotically
but I'm anal.
Organized.
I'm anal. Yeah. Like I'm on my shit. I'm like getting stuff done. I'm like very particular and controlling and like go. And I'm a hustler and like it served me well in business. Not so much in the personal life. It's something that I've really had to work on in therapy. Like, how do we pursue more and grow and hustle without holding ourselves to like these intense standards or associating value and worthiness with it? Have you kind of maneuvered that journey at all?
I mean, I'm still maneuvering.
I think it's the healing journey never stops.
It never stops. I mean, also like being an immigrant and coming here and my parents being like, we came here for you. There's like puts immense pressure on like achieving. So I obviously had to work a lot on that, like understanding when to celebrate my wins, whether small or big.
I've only known you for a few months, and every time I see you, you always affirm something that I'm doing, and I'm so appreciative of it because I'm the same way as you were. Like, I don't do that naturally. I have to like force myself to do it. And I think that gratitude practice allows us to like feel joy about what we're doing. But I'm so bad at doing it, and I'm so appreciative because you do it every time you see me.
Oh, thank you. I didn't notice.
It's very intentional.
It's very nice to really share what people think, the kind things, the compliments. I think it's important, especially as women, because we just have it harder. I'm going to say that. I think people will agree. If not, like there's just so many. First of all, our hormones are so different than men in that sense. I think it's just really empowering to be able to be that person for someone. And I am proud of you. I mean, even setting this up, finding this, putting this together, inviting me, like curating tonight, curating yesterday with the nest, like that is, it takes,
Thank you.
You had a vision, you executed on it.
Well, I'm proud of you too.
Oh,
I think what you've done is so incredible. And like, I do think like we're very similar, and I love what you have to say about this kind of stuff. You've offered me balancing being a hustler and pursuing more, because I don't think there's anything wrong with that, while also holding your value as like something separate from that.
There's a lot of hunger and a lot of achievements that you want to achieve, but you can't always tie your value to achievements. I do that a lot, and I have to sit down and I have to remember that like if I'm not my achievements, I'm still a person, and I have so much to offer of like who I am, even if I didn't have all my titles and all my accolades and like everything that I've done. But it doesn't make me wrong, or it doesn't make you wrong to want to achieve things and grow. For me, it's growth. For me, it's like life is such a beautiful place that you can play and experience things, and I want to grow and experience as much as I can while I'm on this planet.
Well, you said this on our call, and I wrote it down because I thought it was so beautifully said, that ambition is fueled by like our hunger for life and not ego. What does that mean to you? Like, how did you like notice that in yourself, and were you doing the opposite before?
For sure, ego will always be there, like fear. They're in the back of the car, but don't let them take the driving wheel. I think a healthy amount of both is something that might keep us moving. But for me, it's like achieving these things is like, wow, I'm so grateful. I have my 2 legs, I have my 2 hands, I have my body that is able and willing to. And when you know that, like, I'm just excited to experience life. And for me, it's ambition and just being able to feel and being able to experience. I know I keep saying that, but there's nothing, no other word that I'm finding.
No, I think that's a perfect answer. I think like it's about intention. Like ambition has to be rooted in like intention for like more for your life, and not more for like you as like value wise. And I think I'm trying to get better at that. Like, why am I trying to achieve this? Is it because like it lights me up and like this is my sole purpose, therefore I'm willing to like grind myself into the ground to like do it? Like, yes, that's awesome. That's like that hunger for like life. But if I just doing this to like prove something or achieve or whatever it is, and I think being able to ask yourself the hard questions is a way you like kill your ego in those moments.
I think modeling had a lot to do with teaching me and like letting me arrive there. There was so many hours where like set would be 10 hours long and you would not talk. Like you would be just standing there in the clothes, like moving or modeling, especially if we did e-com, which is
you're like standing there
fun.
Moving
like,
in the clothes.
No, honestly, like we have this joke within the industry. Like when you do e-com, you're in like a tiny little white box and you're moving your body like front, side, back, side.
Oh my gosh.
For hours, and all you see is like the flash and a white wall. It's literally like being in a mental institution. And there's so many things that I had to think about while I'm standing for that many hours. You can't have a chat because like you're being photographed, your mouth can't be moving. You have to be still. And like I modeled for the Outnet and Net-a-Porter for a really long time, and they had a very specific way of like you have to pose. So being up there, and I think a part of like the growth I had of like, oh my god, this is killing my ego. Like my ego doesn't want to be here, you know, but at the same time I'm like, I don't know, this is so temporary. When I was working in Paris, I got a great job, and every fashion week I'd be in Paris and I'd be staying in like a 5-star hotel. Like they give me a room and we'll like wear gowns that are like $10,000 up, like north of an art, like complete artistry, like hand sewn, really beautiful, hours put into it. And you were the one that wore it. Like I was the one that wore it. And I was like, wow, this is so fun. And so many people would just get called for maybe just one time or twice. And I don't know, I happened to stay there for 4 years, which was really fun.
Wow.
And I was like, one day this is going to end. I'm like, one day this is going to end. The realization I had, I was like, I'm so grateful that I'm having this experience, and I know it's not forever. So while I'm in it, instead of focusing on my ego that's like, oh, this is not good enough, or this is like, I'm too good for this, or, you know, whatever direction I've decided to go in, I sit there and I'm like, I'm grateful for this. This is awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's a great mindset to have too, like gratitude, but also like, what can I like take from this too? There's lots of things like I've had to do to be able to like pay for the things I want to pay for, like building out a studio at home, like being able to do this, like even with the agency, like I couldn't just be like a content creator and podcaster full time. Like that's not paying me enough to like live the life I want to live. So like I have to open an agency, I have to work with other clients. I actually love it. I think that's I've talked about it a lot on the podcast. Like that's a completely different story. But like I do think there's some clients that I like have to work with that I do not like as much, or I don't like feel as passionate about like the work they're doing. You can't just like get what you want. Like you have to do the hard stuff to get to the stuff you want. And like there's hours that you need to put in to like get to where you are. And I think a lot of people maybe have lost that, like the grunt work. It's like side of entrepreneurship, because you only see the glamorized side.
Totally. And like it doesn't stop. It's like it doesn't stop. There's periods of the business. I'll never forget the Hamptons retreat when Natalie opened up about having like a lower year than they were, and she had to like let go of a lot of staff, and she was like, I was doing customer service. Like that's what happens. Like it's not like you could have bad months or bad years, and like whatever business you're in, whether it's podcasting, D2C, agency, service-based company, and like you can have bad months, and like you could probably have to let go of people or like do the grind work again. So it's like a never-ending cycle, and you can't be like, well, I'm too good to do this now. Like sometimes you have to do it, and I think that's the part of entrepreneurship that's like never talked about enough.
Well, and our ego can get in the way sometimes, where you like don't want to let people know that you're doing like the grunt work. I mean, my ego's so fucking dead. Like it is like so smushed to the ground. I'm gonna do this. Like I'm gonna show up to the restaurant we're doing their socials for and like get all the content myself. Like I can't hire someone this week. Like no one's available. I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go clean up after. I'm gonna go like figure everything out. Even like with events and stuff, it's like I'm gonna be on site, like setting everything up, cleaning everything up. Like I don't have like the means to like hire a team to come like do this. So I think it's about like being honest about that stuff too with people listening, because it's not this like super glamorized thing. If anything, it's actually like really stressful.
It is so stressful, and like you have so much to do, and like there's no certainty. There's like you got your back. Like you have to do the work. And thank you for saying that. I think it should be talked about more, because there's so many times where like you see on Instagram like the beautiful hot photos that like you took, but then you know the 8 hours you spent like stuffing goodie bags and like carrying them across, like maybe the taxi like didn't pick you up, maybe you had to take the subway. But the moment you're like, I'm too good to do this, that's the moment like where things could start to fall apart.
Well, and I'm someone that hates to plateau. Like the plateau scares me. It gives me anxiety. Like I always want to be on the up and up, you know, and I always want to be learning more. And I think the moment you decide that you know everything is the moment you stop growing, because you're not learning more. And I've gotten like good over the years. I think when I was younger I was more stubborn, but I think I've like gotten older, I'm like, I want to ask questions. I'm not scared to look stupid anymore. Like if I don't understand something, I'm not too proud to be like, I have no idea what you just said, explain it to me, because like that's how you grow and that's how you learn. That's how you make more money.
The older I get, the more I realize how much I don't know.
Everyone says that. I feel like and it's so
like,
funny.
It's so like, oh God, I thought I'd know more at this stage. I think being naive and thinking I know everything when I was younger was helpful, because it led me to do this. Because if I don't know if I would, maybe I'll do it again if I knew what it would be. But
I don't know. I think there's
either.
Something about, to circle back to our conversation in the beginning about like not letting fear impact you. I think naive is maybe not the word, because it's like too negative.
Yeah.
Like I think we just like act quick and we're like overly confident. Because like even with opening the studio, like the podcast studio at home, I was telling the guy here, Mike, that does this like whole studio, I was like, so did you always like have the studio, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, I knew cameras, but I had to learn. And same thing with me. I was telling him, like, he asked me what camera I had at the studio. And I was like, I have no idea. Let me look. I know nothing about cameras. But in my head, I was like, can't be that hard.
Right.
I'll figure it out. And then the cameras come. I'm setting it up. It doesn't work. I'm like up till 3 a.m. trying to figure it out. It's not working. I don't know what to do. I'm ChatGPTing. And I thought to myself, like, if I would have seen this scene before I like opened the studio, I'm like, would I have wanted to start as much? And I think it's, if you act quick and you don't think too much, like you're always going to figure it out. And I think it's about trusting yourself too, to be able to do that. Do you feel like you trust yourself?
I do. I have a lot of trust in myself, even if I'm scared and I don't know how to do stuff. And by the way, I love that you said all that. It's so magical. But that's the moment where you like, instead of being frustrated, like you choose to laugh at yourself. Like I would like be sitting there and be like cracking up, and I'm like, seriously, like here we go again.
Yeah, no. And I think I had a friend in the studio the other day, and like we were trying to figure out how to do his like virtual episode, and like I was not gonna like not figure it out. Like that's how it is now. Like I don't get frustrated anymore when I like it's not working. Like I'm just kind of like, we're gonna figure it out eventually. So like let's
always
research and do it. But I think it's because I trust myself enough to figure it out. I think I've developed that over time.
For sure.
Would you say the same thing for you?
Absolutely. I think you get to be in situations you've never even thought you'd ever be in, never even thought were possible to be in, and you figure it out.
Yeah.
Like nothing's not figure outable. That's Marie Forleo said that, and I loved it.
I was gonna say take it. I'm like, it's yours.
No, she coined that. She's beautiful. I love her, by the way. She's a great entrepreneur. When I first started my journey, I used to devour her content. It was just so good.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you, are there any like books, podcasts, things that like you loved, like when you need like inspiration and kind of like a pick me up as an entrepreneur?
Well, yours, I love.
Thank you.
It's very authentic. I think
Thank you.
you have a two-way conversation. It doesn't feel like a interview where all the lights and cameras are on you. So thank you so much again for creating that space. I've been loving Maggie's podcast.
So good.
Hot, Smart, Rich.
Yeah.
I also love the Dream Bigger podcast. Really awesome. The founder of Array, Sith Hyder. She's great. I love Mari Llewellyn with Pursuit of Wellness. That's really very happy and very positive. Also learning a lot. Of course, the King and Queen, Lauren and Michael. They're awesome as well. And those are like kind of the podcasts that circulate around right now at this phase.
Yeah.
I love reading books, and I put a challenge to myself to create a better sleep hygiene where I'm not on my phone, and I started reading at night, and I'm not really doing it every night, but I will do it most nights. And even if it's a page or two, I do it, and then I journal a little bit. I'm really trying to incorporate it in my routine, and it's taking longer than I want.
Yeah, well, it's hard.
It's hard.
I love how you said like in this phase, because like in this phase right now for me, I am working till like midnight, and it's just crazy. But it's like I'm viewing it as in this phase, and like this isn't a forever thing, and it actually can't be a forever thing. So like what are you gonna do to figure out how this is not a forever thing? Anyway, that's a separate conversation. When you have that all day and you get into your bed, sometimes you just like need to watch TV.
Yeah, or like be mind numbed.
Yeah, mind numbed. So it's hard, but I am the same way. Like anytime I like read instead of doing that stuff, I feel so much better.
So much better. Like your head just goes into whatever is being written on the pages, and it gets to take you away. But it's so hard to do it because like I read all day. Like not that I read books, but I read emails all day. I like case studies, what we're building with my team, reports. Like it's a lot of reading, even though if you're not sitting through and like flipping pages, like you are reading all day.
Totally.
I think same to you when you're doing research on a person, or when you, I'm like you're across a lot of different industries, but when you're marketing, putting a plan together, like you're reading so much, and when I lay down at night, there's a resistance of me like reading again.
Totally.
But I do know the benefits of it, so I've been trying to incorporate that. Some of my favorite books I read this summer was Julie Reinworth, or Time to Get Real, how she built the Real. I think you really love that.
I would love that. I need to read it. You know I'm a whore for the Real. Did
really?
You know this?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God. I've been posting more on TikTok about it. I get everything from the Real. Like all my fashion week looks. This week I like challenged myself to source from the Real for like prices that were low. Like I was trying to find like pieces that were like same prices that you would spend at like Revolve or something, but on the Real. because I'm obsessed.
Oh, it's great. And I love her story. You'll love reading her. The other book I read this summer that I love, Amy Griffin, The Tell.
I'm obsessed.
Did you read?
I'm obsessed.
Oh my God.
It's so good. I have been trying to spam her inbox of her PR of anyone to try to get this woman on the podcast. I am like manifesting it.
I would love for you to have her. I'm manifesting it for
that'd
you.
Be so cool.
Amy, if you're listening to this.
I know, Amy, come on the pod. She'll hear it eventually.
I think so.
Any other mental health practices?
Journaling, yes. I think that's been something that's been so helpful. So this is a hack that I've been doing. It's amazing. I get a prompt and I write just free flow, whatever comes through my mind, 2 pages, and then I take a picture. I put it in ChatGPT. I have a channel called Growth.
Oh, that's
and
so cool.
I'm like, let's get into this deeper. This was a question. This was my prompt. This is how I answered it. What are some of your insights and takeaway? My prompt's like, you are like the best psychiatrist in the world. You won all these awards. And it comes back with like really insightful things.
Wow, that's so cool. I feel like that's a really healthy way to incorporate ChatGPT too.
But make sure if you're doing it at night, you have to. I'm going to show people this because it's important. You do the red screen.
Ooh.
It's a setting. Don't ask me how to do it. My brother-in-law did it for me, but we can figure it out. You do the red screen because it doesn't affect your circadian rhythm when you're on the phone at night and it's bright.
I've never seen that before.
It's really such a good hack. Started doing that a couple months ago, and it's fun because you get to kind of like chat about it with a friend.
Yeah. Okay, well, the ChatGPT thing I've never heard before. It's genius because you're starting authentic, like you, because I think sometimes people are a little too reliant on ChatGPT, but like starting as you and then like using something to optimize it is very entrepreneurial of you.
That's literally how my brain works. I'm like, how can I optimize this the best way I can?
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. I ask everyone at the end of every episode, looking back at the journey you've had, there's so much to go, but looking back at what you've done and what you've overcome from the age of like 10 to like all through the modeling and then VitaClean, how do you see it?
It's just a one big beautiful journey full of ups and downs and go arounds, and I'm just grateful to be here. That's all.
Yeah, I love that.
On this earth.
I want to ask you too, like, how do you like intentionally practice gratitude? Because I feel like you're really good at that. Like a lot of your like answers to these questions, it seems like you're very grounded in gratitude. How do you like intentionally stay grateful?
I think going back home to Bulgaria, growing up, all the way till adulthood, literally just stopped going frequently when COVID was happening, and just seeing how life could have been there for me. So when I come here, and I'm not saying life's bad there, like life's probably even better there because it's like not as stressful, but just seeing that duality and being able to draw a comparison for myself, like I am grateful to experience everything that I get to experience and that I get to push myself, and having my health, like also a close person of mine, to myself, my cousin, almost 15 years ago got into a terrible car accident. She was like, oh my gosh, the most beautiful, outgoing, like dynamic human, and she's now disabled, and she's been disabled for a really long time, and just seeing how like life can change and like just one decision in one moment, even if you have done everything right, like I think about those things. I think about that because being able to move my body and being able to think and like do the simplest thing is like walking here and sitting and talking with you, like that's how I keep gratitude and close to my heart.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on. Please share your socials and then VitaClean's and then where people can buy.
Yeah, mine is at Kristina Velkova. I am at Kristina_Velkova on TikTok. I'm not very active there. I'm trying. I'm like an Instagram girly. Please DM me if you have any questions. I always love to talk, and I'm open to having any conversation. And VitaClean's at VitaClean_official and at VitaClean on TikTok.
Yay. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you leave here feeling motivated and inspired. Do not forget to rate and review the pod on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to follow How I See It Pod so you can keep up with podcast updates and see who's coming on next. And if you're not already, come join the fam and follow at How Han Sees It. Thank you guys.